Morning, everybody. British and Irish Lions may be in Australia, but this is all about Wales women playing down under for the very first time. 2 tests as they prepare for the Rugby World Cup in England next month. Sean Lynn, Wales head coach, needs to build whatever momentum possible following a disappointing Women's Six Nations in 2025. He's chosen some younger players, delving into the Welsh pathway. 2 19-year-olds start, 3 debutants on the bench. He says he's taken the squad to some dark places. We'll discuss that in a bit, but first and foremost, we'll have the anthems. Set then at Ballimore for this clash, an important one, as I said, in the lead up to Rugby World Cup. A special one for Kelsey Jones, 50th appearance. If you go online, you'll see her receive her jersey and some messages from back home. Special moment, 50 caps for your country. Support is there for Kelsey. That's a crucial aspect of the Australian team. Ashley Marston's her 40th most caps for Australia, 12 test tries, plays in the back row, abrasive. She also plays hooker as well. She played hooker against Wales at Rodney Parade when Wales beat the Wallaroos for the very first time. Sean Lynn, the head coach, has taken the squad to dark places to develop a hard edge. Will we see the benefit of that hard work? Well, the proof is in the 80 minutes. Australia come off the back of the Pacific 4 with a loss against Australia, and they look to build for Rugby World Cup as well. Maggie Cogerore, Canadian-born, New Zealand now referee, in charge of this clash. First test of 2, first time that Wales have ever played down under against Australia. Philippa Tuttiett alongside me. Philippa, it's bright and early in Wales. It's slightly later in Australia. What are you expecting to see from both teams today, but in particular Wales?
Yes, good morning. So looking to see some really positive rugby from both teams. They're both coming towards the end of that hard training, preparing themselves for the World Cup. This is their chance not only to secure places for that World Cup, but to show what their national teams can do. Let's see some gameplay, let's see some individuals standing out.
There's a turnover for Australia early. Like all Australian teams, they love to play power. Leaney carrying there in the second row. There's some experience in London with the Quins. They played New Zealand in Wellington 2 weeks ago. Lost that clash by 37 points to 12. 7 tries to 2. And they were in the game at half-time, and it's about 80 minutes performances for the Wallaroos. And a strong carry. Cody, 2 second rows coming into the game early, and there she is again. Caitlin Leaney. Pass to Fredericks. Oh, couldn't get the offload away. It's good continuity early from Australia.
Yeah, basic play, isn't it? It's that classic, we've just got the ball, quick turnover, let's just grind Wales down, try short carries, just keep pushing them back, and eventually gaps will open.
Oh, I would say there was a bit of crossing in midfield. A try is awarded to Puina Kavadra over for the first try, but I'd love to see that again. I thought there was a bit of crossing. Will the TMO, Rachel Horton, get involved?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see on that one, wouldn't it? I mean, the build-up play, like I say, nothing fancy there, pretty basic. Here we go, let's see if we can see that crossing there, see how that player just takes out the number 13 there.
Well, we're not seeing it on this replay again. It looks like the try is going to stand. Getting the ref mic clear through our ears today, so if you can hear it at home, maybe you'll be lucky to hear conversations. But it looks like... Oh, hang on, that's a double whistle, which is usually a good sign if you want the TMO to get involved, because the referee, Maggie Coggerall, is getting a chance to take a look at it again.
Yep, at the screen now, Rich. So yeah, live, I thought the defender bit in herself. Obviously, if the contact is initiated and then they go through that gap, we'll need to deal with it.
Quite close in behind.
Yep. So we'll just see who actually is the initiator of the contact.
Who initiates the contact? That's the question. Well, it's inevitable, surely, you know, that the Australian runs in front of the ball carrier. Well, she's got her arms tucked in. She's certainly in front.
I'm comfortable that that's obstruction. We're going to go back.
Agree with those facts, Maggie. We're back on you.
Okay, so I've got a decision. It's going to be no try. 6 Gold is ahead of her teammate with the ball. She's in an offside position. She obstructs a defender. So it's going to be no try. Obstruction.
Yeah, that's the one benefit of the TMO, the television match official.
Keep moving, Maggie.
She gets a chance to look at things again, like we have.
About another 5
and the
meters
decision, the correct decision is made.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to feel for Australia a little bit there, because yes, that was blocking, it did create a gap, but they still had players over on that right-hand side. So if that block hadn't happened, I still feel they would have got a little bit of joy down on that edge. So that's a warning shot for Wales there. You got to challenge either of the ruck or put some more dominant hits in. You can't just sit back and try and stay on your feet, because this Australian team, they're fit, they're strong, they will keep coming and they will grind down until they get that gap on the edge.
And Wales now looking to do some play in the Australian half. The ball didn't go to touch, but through they come. Lovely offload as well. Georgia Evans Alex Callender captaining Wales today, changing captaincy. Hannah X-Jones now, Del Valle in the centre for Wales. And that penalty, the early penalty, goes in the Australians' favour. Strong over the top of the ball. Nice old ground, Ballymore. As we look at what Wales try to do again. Lovely through the hands there, wasn't it? Beth Lewis with the offload to George Evans.
Yeah, just having that forward pack, just 2 or 3 players out, just trying to get on the outside edge where there might be disconnect between that initial shooter there, Ashley Masters, on the outside edge. That was well exposed by Wales, but unfortunately on the edge there, just getting turned over.
Touring Australia, something Wales haven't done before, Philippa. It's the World Cup is in England. It's kind of a strange place to go, but what an experience.
Yeah, it was all part of the agreement that they had with Australia Rugby Union when Australia came over 2024, plays Wales. Part of that agreement was we will come to you if you come to us, and it was supported also by World Rugby. But fantastic experience for these players, but also a brilliant opportunity to have a serious training camp, which is what they need now going into the World Cup. And actually, as you can see with the weather conditions, not too dissimilar probably from an English summer, so pretty good prep.
Yeah, World Cup in August, it could be hot, but also it could be rainy. Maisie Davis over the ball. There's a second bite of the cherry, that's why the arm is out again from the referee. And that's Pomare making a gap for herself. Australia putting some serious pressure. Good tackle by Donna Rose again. Wales won a penalty, they don't get one. Pomare again, quick to the base. Morgan. Australia looking really composed. 2 weeks since they last played, that's going to make a difference as well. Wales have not played much competitive rugby at all. Training is one thing, getting fitter, getting better, but you need to play to get cohesion in a team. Arm out again, second penalty. Good carry from Cody. Philippa Tuttiett alongside me spoke about the Australian patience. When that first opportunity arose, that try was chalked off thanks to the TMO, but this one is gonna stand. Around the corner, Australia went. Oh no, it's not a penalty, it's a penalty. I thought the try was awarded then. Tuina Kovadra just short. Pick and go again. Relentless from Australia. Oh, lovely low ball. Annabelle Cody took it low and squeezed over. On a 7th cap, she crosses for what looks now like the first try of the match.
Bit of a carbon copy, wasn't it, of the first attempt. Nothing too fancy, using their strong runners. A mix of short carries around the ruck there, just testing the fringes and then going 2 or 3 out. Really lovely cut-off pass there, just getting that gap between where the forward sort of pack ends. You just see there Jasmine Joyce Butchers, the winger, and the backs begin. That's sort of a sweet spot for forward carriers. They're looking for that sort of slight disconnect between the players. Well executed from Australia.
Yeah, they look pretty slick at the moment.
They do. We talk about those 6 changes between this team that we're seeing here and the last time they played against New Zealand. The majority of those changes actually came in the forward pack. So the fact that they are working so well together is real testament to them.
Miller with a conversion. Australia lead 7-0. As we see the replay of that try, it was a low ball, but perfectly put into space between defenders. Desi Miller with a conversion. Wales need a bit of possession here. I know we're early. Still not 10 minutes on the clock. They looked a threat when they first had possession, Wales. Just penalised for holding on. As Hals clears. One of the Australians, especially at the back line, while all the team actually have some sevens experience as well. Such a massive part of the Australian pathway. There's someone from the Welsh pathway. Maisie Davis played in the Celtic Challenge, 19 years old in the front row. That takes some bravery. Cross field. Courtney Kate. Jasmine Joyce Butcher's just left that one as well. Davis is a strong carrier. Hands on the deck there potentially from Australia before going onto the ball, and the referee in the way. Is that a clap of thunder? It might be. Yeah, everyone running for cover behind the sticks. I thought it was. Tropical in Ballymore.
Absolutely, you can get a whole mix of conditions out in Australia at this time of year, and it can change just as quick as that. 1 minute you're putting out your picnic blanket, the next minute you're running for cover.
Yeah, the next minute you're under that picnic blanket. Can Wales put any pressure on? Well, they didn't have to. It's an overthrow. Kelsey Jones, what a way to celebrate her 50th appearance. It would be if she got over the whitewash. Georgia Evans, composure now needed from Wales. International rugby is about taking your chances when they present themselves. Beth Lewis with a strong carry. Georgia Evans, Bevan, there was a gap. Wait for support on your shoulder now, pick and go together. I think Crabb is going to be held up. That's one element of the game. They must work on it. You know, when you're close to the line these days, she puts a hand up and says, and there's another huge clap of thunder. And I think they're gonna, are they gonna get off? Yeah, they are. This is a serious storm, a little bit dangerous. So they're gonna take whatever precautions necessary, because they're gonna get off. You don't want a lightning strike. The post, the floodlights, the stand. Philippa, we've had, what, almost 12 minutes? What do you make of that opening 12 minutes?
I'd say that Australia are looking pretty dominant, and I think actually this is a really good time for a bit of a break and a coach's talk too. From a Welsh perspective, they need to front up. You know, you see a lot of those girls, they're really blowing hard. I think they are feeling the force from that Australia team, and the tempo maybe. They've got to try and slow them down, because they're not going to be able to keep up with this for the full game. So it's a good opportunity for Wales, and equally from an Australian perspective, I think it'll be keep doing what you're doing until Wales find an answer. I mean, you talked about all those fantastic Australian sevens players. You know, they haven't even touched the ball yet. If they come into the game, then Australia could be a real threat.
Yeah, Wales, that first chance they had, you know, they went through. Beth Lewis with a lovely little offload to Georgia Evans. Let's talk about the back row. Let's talk about the Welsh captaincy as well. Co-captains, Kate Williams and Alex Callender. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I think it's a great choice. Both individually, fantastic players. Alex Callender, we know she wears her heart on her sleeve. She's a very passionate player. Kate Williams, more subtle, sort of goes about her business, sort of a classic six, does so much, but you don't always see it until you look at the stats pack after. But saying that, during the last Six Nations, she scored in 3 of the games. And when you consider Wales had a bit of a torrid time in the Six Nations, they came bottom, they were whitewashed. They were struggling to get into games. For one player to score in 3, I mean, a winger would be proud of that stat, but that came from a back row player. So yeah, really good choice for her to be a co-captain. And I just think logistically nowadays there is so much more demands on captains, especially at World Cups. You know, it's not like in the good old days when I was playing, you'd go to one press conference a week and that would be it. Now we've got to do a live TikTok and an Instagram and all these other social media aspects, which is fantastic. We're getting the exposure of these girls out there, but the demands on the captains are so much higher. So simply to have 2 captains, co-captains, and they can maybe spread that responsibility, I think is a good choice as well.
He needed a bigger brolly. It is absolutely pouring down in Brisbane.
We went out there as the Welsh national sevens team in preparation for the Commonwealth Games, which is going to be on the Gold Coast. And we went in January and we all packed lots of sunscreen. We got there and it was torrential rain. It did not stop raining for the entire week we were there. So we got used to a waxy ball, as they say, like a slippery ball, but it was not the sevens rugby.
Yeah, then you went up to the Gold Coast and you didn't see a drop of rain.
Yeah, absolutely that, yeah.
One point that Sean Lynn raised about the Six Nations that had to improve was discipline. He mentioned that, and Wales, their penalty count was astronomically high. That has to improve. That's one part of the game that he's focused on.
Yeah, absolutely. And they got cards as well, didn't they? Which, are the real penalties against the team. I think that all comes around full circle with the fitness element as well, because I don't think Wales, when he got them 4 days before they started the Six Nations. So there's very little he could do, but he did try and implement a bit of a change of game plan. And Sean Lynn has always loved to play. He likes to go edge to edge. He likes to see his forwards on the wings. He likes to see backs carrying. He's very much almost like a Sevens-esque. Forget your number on your jersey, get involved and play. But I don't think Wales were quite fit enough at that point to play that style. And when you're not fit and you're under pressure, you don't think clearly. And that's when mistakes can come in. That's when penalties can come in. And some of them were, silly ones where I'm sure the player themselves would look back and go, oh, why did I do that? Or why did I try and do that? But in that heat of the moment, when you haven't got that mental fitness as well as physical, those sort of weaknesses can come in. So I think that is where we definitely want to see an improvement. And at the moment, I must be honest, I know this is first game, and like you say, they haven't played since the Six Nations, and no matter fitness will ever replicate what it's like to play. But they are blowing at the moment. We're only 10 minutes in, so I'm hoping that's just that early, the first 5-10 minutes of a game.
Yeah, where's my second win?
Yeah, exactly, the second win. So I'm hoping when they come out now, we'll see that second win, because I know Sean Lynn has been ruthless with them. Their World Cup prep has been savage. But you got to do it. Every team is fit. You got to be super fit to actually stand out with your fitness nowadays.
Brutal. The weather's brutal in Brisbane at the moment. As you can see, play suspended due to the weather. An electrical storm. So everyone has dashed for some cover. We'll go for a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, but we'll be back with you when play resumes. Well, good morning again, everybody. We're back at Ballymore in Brisbane. The storm has cleared. Players are back out there. It's almost like a second warm-up, isn't it? Philip Atutiet alongside me. It's 7-0 Australia lead. They started the better of the two teams. But certainly Wales had a couple of phases, went through them. They got held up over the line. That's how we'll restart, with the goal line dropout. But it's a funny one, this, isn't it? Because you've got warm, you've played, then you've got to do it all over again.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talked, didn't we, about the amount of sevens players that are in that Australian team, that this will be no phase for them in a sevens day. You can play 3-4 games, you warm up, you cool down, you go again. So they'll be well equipped to deal with this sort of situation. And like I say, I think that first 10 minutes, it was high intensity, wasn't it, from both teams? Both teams getting into the 22, and as we say, Australia coming away with the try. That one there disallowed because of the crossing in centre field. But that was a bit of a warning shot for Wales, because they had numbers there, and the big number 8 on the outside edge. That's the last thing you want to see as a Welsh defender. You see the two players going outside of Lisa Neumann there. So even if that crossing hadn't happened, it probably would have led to a try. But needless to say, Australia did keep coming. Ashley Masters there, you thought she was in. She is the try-scoring machine, but that one was disallowed. It was penalty advantage, so Australia kept hold of the ball. They won again, nothing special, just short line carries, but picked off really nicely between the last forward and beginning of where the backs play there. Jasmine Joyce, you can just see on the outside edge. That's if you're going to have any kind of maybe weakness in the defensive line. Sometimes it can come between the forward and the back.
Yeah, finding space, that's what rugby used to be about. That's what rugby should be about, really. But it is a contact sport, and inevitably you have to run into people. Just try not to do it. Wales just getting some...
All right, drawn by Wallaroos star Charlotte
Caslick.
Caslick.
We've got
Charlotte,
an
you can
interview coming
see,
in as well.
fresh off the
Let's
surgery,
listen.
how is the ankle?
Yeah, it's not doing too bad. I'm back in Sydney doing my
Caslick
rehab
was
with
injured
the
last
sevens
week,
program.
wasn't she?
So
2 weeks ago
I'm
against New
about
Zealand.
1.5 weeks post-op.
If you look at the transition so far, look like you're finding a real momentum in the game of 15s. Did you feel you're sort of finding your groove?
Yeah, definitely.
Right, I think we're all set. We had that interview. We are back to the rugby, and we're back to the restart. This is where we left the game. Gwen Crabb was held up, a short warm-up, but we're all set to get underway again. The rain is still falling, but the storm has hopefully cleared. We'll get to half-time at least. Restart. Wales possession. There's Lisa Neumann. Bevan at the base. Mallow Pearce, one of the two 19-year-olds in the front 5 for Wales. Good hands again, but Donna Rose couldn't hold on to that one.
There's no advantage for the knock-on. Scrum. Turnover by 13.
Nothing wrong with the turnover from Wales there. They got hands on the ball, but no advantage. Dean from Donna Rose is knocked on. Conditions, you said, you know, with the World Cup being in England, Philippa, that it could be wet. But it's a different kind of rain in Australia, isn't it? You know, this is kind of tropical. But again, a camp, a long camp, and a two-test tour. Great prep for Rugby World Cup for Wales.
Absolutely, and a chance for this team to really bond, and also for the coaches, the coaching staff. It was all a new setup this year, so real good opportunity for everyone to gel together. But, you know, we talk about with the rain there, you know it's bad when you can see it on the camera, because the amount of times you'll be at games and you say, oh, it was raining, did you see? And people won't see it at home. But when you can actually see it on the camera, that's when you know it really is bad.
Ray Morgan waiting for the scrum to settle before she puts the ball in. You never know with Australia. Will they try and carry from here? That's gone straight to the deck on the other side. The other side to the referee, that is. Lydia Cavoa is against Donna Rose. Two resets. I don't usually see that many resets. It's usually a free kick or a penalty now straight away. Should we get another chance? For me, it looked like a penalty in Wales' favour. Will we get a set this time? Pressure on, going down. There is the arm out now, so it's a free play for Australia. The arm will stay out. The referee's not budging. It's a penalty gone against Maisie Davis on the far side.
Penalty awarded to the Wallaroos.
Well, you know, for me, that was a carbon copy of what happened on this side.
Yeah.
So then, you know, one's a penalty, one's not, you know. And that's come from the AR on the other side. Natasha Ganley and Jessling. Keep an eye on the far side. Wales look to be going forward. They have a little nudge on, but we can't get pictures from the other side. Australian penalty means Australian line out. And clean ball for them to attack off, because that's what they do. Knees on the deck, that's a tackle. Calendared as well to get out of the way there. Fredericks, always a threat. He's come in because of that injury to Kaslik. Just had ankle surgery. Saw the injury, that's gone forward against New Zealand earlier. This will be another scrum, but a Welsh put in.
Good bit of movement play there from Australia. You can see them bringing in their backs. You're seeing that 9 scooting, so picking the ball up at the base of the ruck and running, bringing forwards on, offering lines to be cut. So nice mix of play from Australia, but good deep from Wales, putting just enough pressure on to force that error.
Got to get things right at scrum time now. Was a little bit lucky there because Callender dislodged the ball, but she didn't actually make the tackle. She really went through it. But what have Wales got to offer from a solid platform, hopefully? No problems on the Welsh put in. Very solid scrum. Not gone forward. Callender to Bevan. Lovely delay of the pass. Courtney Kate. Wales making inroads straight over the Australian gain line. Maisie Davis with a carry. Don't go too far. Well done from Kira Bevan there. She noticed that they needed one more person over the ball to secure possession. Back on her feet. Wales now going through the phases. Worked so hard in preparation. And Dal Valle got halfway through that gap with the offload. There's Pearce again. Strong defence from Australia. Bevan. Beth Lewis. Hands in. That's a free play. Oh, shame that Wales couldn't get the ball away then, but they will get a chance to pop it into the corner. looked comfortable ball in hand, Wales.
Yeah, much better performance, wasn't it? Contact on their terms, don't get me wrong, they weren't, smashing past people 2 or 3 metres, but they were going down on their terms, which is so important. Lovely little pick there from Al-Khal, and Kira Bevan always in that linking up play, and as you noted, just double rucking there, having that awareness, making sure they keep hold of that ball.
Yeah, penalty there against Amosa, the Wallaroo hooker. Solid platform for Wales. A few players in front of the ball carrier, though. If they do get over the whitewash, the TMO might have a look at that again. Delayed ball rather, not put in. Neumann with a carrier on the back. A lot of options. Calendar, Evans, Calendar, the first receiver, strong. Just about a metre and a bit short. Australia again penalised, back to 5 they come.
Sorry, whoever's going for the ball is okay. Not rolling 6.
Not rolling away. Captain Chancellor. I would argue that they were elbows on the deck as well and not supporting their own body weight. But Wales pre-planned Donna Rose. Hopefully she touched that one. Tap and go. Bevan. Maisie Davis. Oh, almost there. Oh, inches short. Surely that's a ruck. Hands are away. It's a knock on. Well, when is a ruck formed? When can you go for the ball?
There's no ruck over it, so she can play the ball, but you've lost it forward. It's a scrum.
Okay, there's the explanation to shut me up. No ruck formed, just the referee.
I think Ashley Masters initially was really good, but she almost doubted herself as well. You could see her sort of go for it and then pull back and then go again. It was that second bite then that actually knocked it on. I think she should have backed herself in the first place, but still. Wales in a really good position here.
And on the Welsh pudding, it's been really solid, and they got over the gain line with ease last time, coming down the short side. And this scrum in the middle of the field is perfect for Wales. Perfect platform to attack either side. 8-9. Well, if they get a chance. It's gone down. Can Wales put a little bit of pressure on the Australian 8? It's always nicer if you're a back, especially if you can get up on one particular side that you want to attack. If Donna Rose can get a squeeze on their loose head, Lydia Kavoa, then it opens things up a little bit on the right side for Wales. Solid on the set, Australia down again. Should be a penalty advantage. There it is, Bevan. That pull back again. Oh, lovely line. Oh, have Wales got the ball down? Yes, they have. Nell Metcalf, the 20-year-old. Lovely delayed ball. And Metcalf crashes over, turning territory and possession into points.
That was a lovely pre-planned move there, straight off the training park, that one, but executed really well. And as you noted, the Australian prop going down there should have been penalty try, but what it did was actually allow the scrum pack to turn and basically pull in the Australian defence there. You see there, Bethan Lewis just had a picture, just holding down Ashley Masters. She knows the threat she can be defensively. Lovely little tip-on pass. Great bit of play from Wales.
Really positive play. Metcalf with a score. Still had a lot of work to do. Can Kira Bevan convert? Struck it nicely through the uprights. And after the break, for the Storm to clear, Wales have been the better team, kept the pressure on Australia, and the outcome is this score for fullback Nell Metcalf, converted by Kira Bevan, 7 points apiece.
Yeah, lovely short line run there from the inside centre, Courtney Key, just keeping the defence true, so it's stopping them from drifting too hard. A really good move is when every single player does their bit, and there was a great example of that.
Retaining possession off the restart, just as crucial as scoring points these days in rugby. Flikey George. A Crumich product at 10. Big boot into midfield though. And back Australia will come. Good pressure on Hulse. They spoke about discipline just when the storm was coming through, how that needed to improve for Wales, and at the moment it's pretty good. Getting quickly away from the contact area, staying on their feet, not giving teams easy chances for points and territory. Solid tackle there by Keat. Australia still holding on to the ball, and Miller driving her legs forward. Line speed from Wales, excellent. Double tackle. Australia looking to respond to that Welsh score. Oh, almost got her hands on the ball. I think that was Alaw Pearce. Calendar again. Went for it twice there. And back we will come. A penalty. Didn't see the arm out. I was going to ask what the infringement was. High tackle over the tannoy. We get the answer.
It's great now, isn't it, that they make those announcements to the stadium, especially for us. Unfortunately, we can't hear the referee mic, but for the spectators there watching the game to be able to hear then what it's actually for. So there was a high tackle infringement, possibly that one there from Jasmine Joyce-Butchers.
Australia missed touch, and so of Wales. Caitlin Hulse will always counter. Calendar almost got onto the ball. Masters carry one-handed, and the offload to the captain. Chancellor, the whistle goes, ball gone forward. Well, both teams, despite the conditions, really looking to play.
Yeah, you know Ashley Masters, she won't give that ball unless she really has to. It's a nice little shimmy, little dummy. She tries to go herself. She did get the ball away in the end when she knew that was the last option there. But what I want you to look at is Bethan Lewis. She'll come into play. Look at her tracking back on the corner there like a fullback, working really hard. And here, see how she gets her hand in high? That is what stifles the pass. Getting that hand in, look, you can see there the Australian player's not comfortable with that ball. If she'd have kept her hands up and free, that would have been an easy little pop. But that subtlety of tackle from Bethan Lewis disrupted that play. Potentially a try-saving tackle there.
Yeah, the lawmakers want tacklers to go low, but that then inevitably frees people's hands, which makes for good rugby. But defensive coaches want them to go high just like that to stop the offload, or to make it really difficult. Bevan George in the pocket, looks for the safety of the touchline and finds it. Great clearance from Flikey George. She's someone who's played in the back row, played at 12. Now she seems settled at 10, doesn't she? You know, she's at Hartbury and Gloucester there, where Lynn was coaching.
Unique circumstances.
Yeah, absolutely. Got a great relationship with head coach Sean Lynn from her time at Gloucester Hartbury. Brilliant player. And also you've got Kaylee Powell on the bench, who's also fantastic at fly half, really been harnessing her craft in the last season of PWR at Harlequins. Harlequins going on to have one of their best seasons in a long time, so look out for them next season as well.
Australia again nudging closer to the Welsh 22 through the hands. Donna Rose trying to hold Cody up. Clean ball, quick ball, wet ball. And now it's Welsh ball. Both teams looking dangerous, ball in hand. And it's Wales' turn to be under a bit of pressure from the Wallaroos. George doesn't look for the safety of the touchline there. Hulse avoiding the first defender. And a young player, 18 years old, thrust into international rugby. Doesn't matter how old you are, if the coaches think you're ready, you are in. It's Pomare every time. She's a constant threat, as is Duina Kovadra. And one try scrubbed off by the TMO. This is impressive continuity once again from the Wallaroos. Hens through, a great offload. Oh, super tackle on Leaney 5 out, and Wales have won a penalty over the ball in the contest. Last-ditch stuff from Wales, but a vital turnover, a vital penalty.
That was a beautiful gap exposed there by the fly half, Tia Hines, and then of course that follow-up play so key, but the defensive effort from Wales. Just as Claykie George clears the ball there, hopefully they'll go back. Here we go, let's watch this again. So here's the gap, look, shapes up to pass, makes the break, offloads there, tackle from Claykie George, Nell Metcalf over the ball. That is teamwork.
Yeah, over the ball and making that crucial effort to pick the ball up these days. It's got to leave the floor, hasn't it, you know? Super work by Wales' try scorer, Nell Metcalf. George back in the pocket. What's on the clock? 27, almost 28 minutes. Wales will be very happy with how they've responded after the storm break. Pressure from Lewis. Will it sit up for a fall on the ball as you maintain possession? No! Oh, she's disappointed with that. The ball would not sit up. She might have been better off putting boot to ball there.
Yeah, I think so. She'll look back on that with a lot of frustration. It was just begging for it, wasn't it? She was there, the basket, she had her hands open, just pop up, and it wouldn't. But like you say, I think that would have been better because the way the play was then, you know, all of the attacking players are high there for Australia, so I dare say there was no one in that backfield, so just a massive boot downfield would have been the option, but she's desperately looking for it to try and sit up.
Bounce up, bounce up. It just didn't. Kind of half bounced, as you can see the disappointment. But good pressure from Beth Lewis. Can Wales put a little bit of pressure on the Australian scrum? Trying to get a nudge on. I think they've got the advantage in the scrum. Wales has been taken back and kept in play. Over Metcalf's shoulder, left-footed. Wales have got to make the effort to get back now, which they do. And counter again, Miller. That's one thing from playing sevens rugby, Philippa. You fear nothing due in counter-attack. It's all about finding that and beating the first defender.
That's one of the things I love about sevens. It just gives players that ambition to play, to back yourself. I think the fact you get so many touches of the ball when you play sevens, obviously only 7 players on the field, everyone's utilised. I really do encourage it for youngsters, no matter what position you play, get out there, play some sevens.
It's a knock-on in the tackle. It'll be Australia scrum. I think Wales have got the ascendancy at scrum time, as we'll get a replay of the knock-on. Yeah, it was Captain Calendar in the tackle. Nothing deliberate in this one. Well, I don't know, maybe that happens. That's a different story. Don't show that one again, please, Mr. Director. Half-hour mark. If you're thinking, hang on, this game kicked off at 5, well, you're right. But a storm came through Brisbane. Elbows on the deck. Wales won a penalty. They're not going to get one. Kick over the top. Oh. Jazz Joyce Butchers did well, taking that one over her shoulder. And Wales do well to work back. Calendar. Oh, strong carry. Wales wanted to be more physical, and I think we've seen that today. Well, that's an accidental offside for me. Player was in front, the ball. Oh. Maybe they'll look at that one again from the kick. Wasn't really a charge zone. That's great again, once again from Wales. Is that Pearce over the ball? Yes, it is. Super work at the contact area. Rugby is a contact sport. Lynn wanted them to be more physical. He's worked them hard in prep for this tour and Rugby World Cup, and I think I can see the edge that he wanted.
Yeah, absolutely. We didn't maybe see it in that first 10 minutes, but I think that break in play maybe allowed them to have a little word in the changing rooms, get that second win that we talked about, and they're looking much sharper.
Thank you, George. Bit off too much there, looking for the touchline. And here come Australia through the hands. That's gone forward. It'll be a well scrum, but you have to be careful. What do you go for? Distance? You find the safety of the touchline.
It's normally something Claykie George doesn't really worry about. She naturally has that distance, but yeah, maybe just biting it a little bit more off. Really nice counter-attack there from Australia, flinging the ball around as if they're playing sevens. But we're just seeing the centre, Kumari, kind of put the brakes on. She was trying to fix the defender and make the pass. She didn't need to do that. She just kept running. Her natural line would have sort of taken her in front of that crossing defender. It would have made for maybe a bit more of a comfortable pass. Instead, it forced the knock-on. Ball back to Wales.
32 and a bit minutes on the clock, 7 points apiece. The Ballymore in Brisbane. Wales women against the Wallaroos. Big game of the morning. There's another one. The Lions are playing in the second test as well, and our focus is on Wales. Bevan. Georgia Evans. Not been as evident as she usually is. And she'll grow into this game. Calendar. Oh, does well. Releases, goes again. Gets an extra metre or two there. Crab with a carry. As they get lower, she does that. Counter from Australia. Del Valle. Keat. Metcalf. Lovely offload. Neumann hits a line. Back yourself. Now needs support. Australia slow to move. Surely slowing Welsh ball down. Bevan looks one way and then the other. Evans another carry. Wales on the front foot once again. Quick ball needed. A little bit slow coming round the corner. Maisie Davis pushed by Keith into contact. Calendar, very evident, making yards over the gain line. Well, Georgia Evans driven back that time. But the Wales maintain possession. Yes, they do. Maisie Davis. Beth Lewis on her shoulder. That's how you want to carry. Donna Rose holds on to this one. Oh, it's gone forward. Lost it in the contact. Australia clear. And find the touchline. That's a chance gone for Wales.
That's really frustrating. Donna Rose there working really hard, coming in as an option and actually taking the ball on the run where previous carriers had been sort of stood still. So loads of momentum, just got her angle a bit wrong in the contact.
She stayed down. There's a run meter start for you. 2-3-2. Kick meters, okay, we'll kick more. But 7 points apiece, that's the only stat that counts. Donna Rose looking at a cheekbone. You know, this is something you kind of see in the game a little bit, okay? Someone stays down, there's an injury, which then makes the TMO potentially look at the tackle area, what happened. Wales play the Wallaroos next Friday down in Sydney. The old Sydney Oval. 2 tests in Australia for Wales women. Playing there for the very first time. We're not getting a replay of that tackle on Donna Rose. We're in the hands of an Australian production team, but I'd like to see why she's being checked out, why her cheekbone is being checked out. Maybe that would give us a clue as to why the knock-on came about.
Wallaroos stand 7 minutes to go in the first half. Let's give them a cheer.
They were meters away from the Wallaroos try line now. 40 plus out. Slightly messy line out. Really messy at the breakdown as well.
I know you're stuck, but if your team counter-runs,
Captain Emily Chancellor saying she was stuck in there, but there was a counter-ruck, she was in the way. If there's no counter-ruck, you'll get away with it, won't you, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. You see, there was an incident earlier where Alex Calendar found herself on the wrong side. She just made herself in sort of a pencil, you know, laid there still. Scrum half could come in, clear the ball away, it didn't affect the play. But yeah, when there's a counter-ruck and you affect that, then that's when that's an issue. Kira Bevan there looking a little bit cautious of her ankle. Wales are going to want her to stay on the pitch. Very experienced player. We've got one of the uncapped trio that you mentioned on the bench, and Seren Lockwood. Exciting to see what she could do.
Well, he's had a look into the pathway. He's brought under 18 players in, the under 20 players in, and using the Celtic Challenge as well, where they've had exposure, playing for either the Gwalia Lightning or the Brython Thunder. Competition in its second year, but it's about development of the game. But Wales are back in the Wallaroos. 22, clean line-out ball, and they look to set this one. Kelsey Jones has the ball at the back of this maul, which is going forward at the moment. Bevan breaks away. Jasmine Joyce Butcher's high into contact, driven back as well, and a counter there. She did regain her feet. That's surely playing the scrum half there for me. Coming right through on the 9, elbows all over it. I'm Welsh, slightly biased of course, but Wales maintaining possession. Evans picks round the corner. I think Wales will get some mileage doing that if they carry in numbers. Beth Lewis, she's looked potent in attack and defence, as has Callender. Captain Alex Callender today, co-captain with Kate Williams, not involved. That's what you want to avoid, going slightly alone. But they are making meters. Georgia Evans, were her knees down when that ball was pinched. She's got a hand up saying sorry. But again, Australia escape for the moment. They have possession, looking to get a better platform to clear from. Duina Gavadra, she's turned the ball over. Georgia Evans couldn't quite free her hands. Beth Lewis is on the shoulder. Callender now needs support as well to turn out of that tackle. Hands all over that one. Yeah, Kira Bevan, a little tap on the head there for O'Gorman, say, hey, leave the ball go. Wales think they've got space out wide. Brave in these conditions. Metcalf gets it down for a second. Super play by Wales, super composure, turning pressure once again into points.
Another try, number 15.
The amount of times you've seen Wales play in the past and they've gone short, and you're screaming as a fan, get it out wide, you've shortened the line, release the backs, and it hasn't happened. But this time, this is an evolution of their play. Strong short carries, yes, there was a bit of luck there. Australia turned it over and then all of a sudden it bobbled back to Wales, but they played with what they had. Big gap on the outside. They had the hands to execute with a player spare as well.
Yeah, I think the coaching team, Sean Lynn, the head coach, new head coach of course, came in just before the Women's Six Nations, will be very happy with what he's seen in 37 minutes, but certainly in the 25 minutes since the restart. Yes! I thought he was going to go right for a second, but Kira Bevan adds the extras, and Wales lead in Ballymore by 14 points to 7.
Lovely cut-off plays there. Times before you see teams, they want to get out wide and they use every single player, and that just slows play up. But you see there 2 skip passes, misses the 13, misses the 14. They knew where the space was. They've got the skills to execute, get those balls fast, fizzing in front of players. That's what made that try.
Just as crucial is the restart and the exit. George, look for length on this one. That'll work. Putting Australia slightly on the back foot, but Caitlin Hulse will put them certainly on the front one. Wales now need to be squeaky clean. Oh, the arm comes out. Maisie Davis, I thought she did pretty well to get away from that contact. Just what you don't want, Philippa, isn't it? You know, giving away a penalty. I thought it was a little harsh penalty. And Australia pop one into the corner and they get a chance immediately now to respond.
Yeah, minute before half-time. Wales go in leading. It's a very different half-time talk to if they concede here.
Well, if you're going to concede right in the corner. And the Wallaroos don't even get off the deck to set this rolling ball up. Duina Kovadra is over this time. Tried disallowed early on by the TMO, but this one will stand. The clock will turn red. It's a 2-point game, thanks to Australia's second score.
Yeah, Duina Kovadra, what a player, what a powerhouse. It was not going to anyone else, was it? She was at the back of that. She was holding on to it. Good drive, good setup from the team. No messing around there. Look, didn't even get off the deck. They wanted to have a good shape. They wanted to get, look at the body angles there, low to high, driving forward. Wales at the back there, you can already see their heads popping up. That's a really weak position to try and defend that.
But I said if you're going to concede out wide. It's a tough conversion for Miller. The hooter has gone. Will we be all square at half-time? The answer is no. Unsuccessful conversion for the Wallaroos. So at half-time, the scoreboard reads Australia 12, Wales 14. Welcome back, everybody. The teams are making their way back onto Ballinamore. Alex Callender, Wales captain, and Wales lead 14 points to 12. First time Wales have ventured to Australia to play a test series. What an achievement it would be to win this opener in Brisbane. Didn't start that well. Then we had a 25-minute storm break, and Wales were on fire when they returned. 2 tries from Nell Metcalf. He's given them the lead. Australia did respond at the death in the first half. Tabua Tawina Kovadra scored from a line out in the corner, but we're all set for this second half. Philippa Tuttiett alongside me. 40 minutes for Wales to create some history down under.
Yeah, absolutely big 40. It'll be interesting to see how both teams enter now into this second half, because like you say, Australia were all over Wales' first 10 minutes, but they went in, had a chat, Wales came out different team. Now, what has been said to Australia? Certainly would have been keep the ball in hand. They wouldn't want to be seeing things like that, given an opportunity straight away to Wales.
Well, that's gone forward, and I think Wales have turned it over as well. Can't see a scrum advantage, though, as Gwen Crabb carries. Spoke of the physicality in the first half and the good discipline by Wales. Dalavale was Hannah Jones was Wales captain, now married, playing in the centre. That ball shoots out. Has that gone forward? Well, Wales still get possession. Keat out wide. And that's Jazz Joyce Butcher's touchline, helping the Wallaroos out there. But back we will come. Is it a knock-on or is it a penalty advantage?
There we go.
Yeah, just got the referee's mic very faint in our ears, but just knocked forward on the ground. Scrum for Wales, another positive aspect of that first half. Looked like some dominance. They weren't given fair play on one of the scrums, you know, where they were penalised on one side and Australia weren't on the other. But it looks like they've got the nudge on Australia.
Yeah, slightly more experienced front row there from the Welsh perspective than the Australian perspective. 2 of those in the front row change from the last game out. Like I say, they've had 6 changes since they last played, most of them coming in the forwards. So you would expect, there you go again, to Wales to get the advantage here.
It's Rydell O'Gorman on this side, on the tight head side for Australia. 31 caps against young Maisie Davis, the 19-year-old, on the loose head for Wales. Young talent coming through for Wales. Really impressed with how she played in the Celtic Challenge. And she's at Bristol now, isn't she, I think?
Yeah, absolutely. That Celtic Challenge offering opportunities to many girls in Wales to be able to play rugby, and actually the 3 uncapped players that we've got on the bench all representing in the Celtic Challenge.
No messing this time. Pressure coming on from Australia, but Callender picks. Cleiki George kick through, Dalavale! Oh, gets the ball down, pre-planned again, executed perfectly from Wales. What a start to the second half. 3rd try on the board, and they extend their lead.
Brilliant bit of play there from the Welsh backs. Stark improvement from what we saw in the Six Nations this year. Recognising there the Australian defensive line coming up hard. They're in their 22, that's quite common, but there's no fullback at home. Look at that. Well picked out from Cleiki George. Takes it right to the line, cool as you like, kicks it between 2 players, no fullback at home. Hannah Dalavale, as we mentioned, normally known as Hannah Jones, married now, and getting her first try as a married woman. There's a stat you don't often get, is there? There we go.
Well, that graphic was wrong because it was Hannah. As the fact that the captaincy has left her made a difference to her, do you think? Philippa, you know, taking the pressure off as the conversion goes over from Bevan.
Yeah, potentially. Sean Lynn spoke about the time that he spoke to Hannah about moving the captaincy. Hannah Della Valle was captain in the Six Nations just gone, and he's now obviously given it to Alex Jones and Kate Williams. And I think there's an element of relieving that pressure. It was a tough campaign. I mean, Hannah Della Valle has been captain through some really difficult times for Wales and done it absolutely professionally, admirably. But maybe this chance now with a World Cup, take that pressure off. She is in her late 20s. This could be her last World Cup. So take the pressure off her, let her enjoy. And as I'm saying all that positive stuff, turnover there for Australia. Yeah, the pressure's back on.
Unbelievable from the restart. Talk a lot about restarts, and it's become the new, or another set piece in the game. And Georgia Evans couldn't take the restart, which puts Australia on the front foot. Quick hands, Pomare and the Chancellor. Has that gone forward? Oh, it's a line-up, the Australian line-up that hasn't gone forward in that attack. And that's what Nell Metcalf is asking.
Yeah, just seeing that big number 8 again. Tui Nakavandra there, hanging out on that wing. Screaming for a switch, I felt then. You know, the inside play was dragging across.
You don't see it much, really. You know, you can drag a defender, create a hole. You don't see it enough.
Yeah.
You don't see enough of that either. Wales pinching ball, but then losing
Thank you,
it.
Marty. Yes, the rain continues to pour here at Ballinamore Stadium, but a big crowd as well. Jammed in here
Pomare,
at Ballinamore Stadium. But back to that try. It's all about the Welsh
coming through onto it. That's gone back. Wow, for me, that's gone forward.
Great little kick in behind, and thought the Wallaroos napping. So work to do for the Australians.
Australia on the attack again. Into the Welsh 22. They have found a way to respond on every occasion. And that's what they're trying to do again. Ellis. Right winger won her first cap against New Zealand. 17 years old, playing international rugby. Now that has gone forward, surely. Yes, it has. Physicality, discipline. That's definitely improved for Wales. Reading up on what Sean Lynn's been saying, what the work they've been doing about physicality, working with Ben Flower, who's come into the camp as one of the coaches there. That's huge, isn't it, to get someone of league experience come back and then really get the Welsh squad to where they need to be physically and mentally as well, get ready for this contact game.
Yeah, absolutely. Contact skills, you cannot underestimate them. We talk about rugby being that contact game. It's about power, it's about strength. And yes, you can put on a bit of muscle mass in a couple of months, but you can learn to use what you have. You see a lot of players resorting to judo, and that's all about using your body's momentum against the opposition. A lot of wrestling, a lot of contact skills. Fortunately there for Wales, not able to use those contact skills.
Well, that ascendancy I spoke of in the first half has quickly disappeared. That has not left the hands. That's not been taken. That ball has not moved at all. You know, if you want to be picky, I can be. That penalty was not taken correctly at all. And she's back on the ball is Morgan, and back on the attacker, Australia. Looking for forwards, looking for runners. She carries herself this time. Maisie Davis taking a bang to the head. I think the referee has seen that.
There's no foul play. They're both just trying to jump on the ball. It's going to be your scrum from the knock-on. Alex,
It's a
I'm sorry.
knock-on.
It's player with a potential head injury. That's why I've stopped it. I know. It's going to be your
Just a
scrum.
question, the explanation there. Maisie Davis took a bang to the head. She's back up and ready to go into the scrum. But Lane Morgan took that quick penalty. I wonder if we get to see that again as Maisie Davis gets in treatment. You've seen it picked up a few times in recent games where players haven't tapped the ball. You know, the ball's on the floor and they've gone to kick it and they missed the ball. You know, and then the referees picked them up on it. But there's no difference if the ball does not leave your hands. The ball isn't live, just taken incorrectly. Little graphic on the screen from our broadcaster says the Wallabies against the British and Irish Lions. Is that happening today, Philippa? I had no idea.
Yeah, absolutely, that second test. And for all those Welsh fans watching this, they will be watching that later because we have Jack Morgan is on the bench. We have a Welsh representative. in that team.
Yeah, really pleased for Jack, someone I know really quite well from my neck of the woods, you know, and he's worked so hard. And regardless of injuries that have happened in that kind of front five, with McCarthy not playing and Chesham shifting up, I think Jack would have got that slot on the bench. I hope he gets 30 minutes, because, you know, he beat Australia for Wales at Lyon in Rugby World Cup by himself. He is ready for this big stage, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And with Australia having a couple of big ball carriers coming back, you want someone who can chop and go low, and that is Jack Morgan. That's his MO. He comes on at 60 minutes, just starts chopping players. He could really be a momentum changer.
Wales needs some momentum in its scrum. Donald Rose giving a warning there, and acknowledges that by saying, "Yep, my hands up, okay." Well, one thing that was said at halftime to Australia, certainly to the 8th, was, you know, let's get a squeeze on, let's switch on, get the top 2 inches right at scrum time, and they've done that because they were under pressure in the first half. But that last scrum, and it was a Welsh put-in, he couldn't get the strike on the ball, so a hand come in and give away the penalty. And Bevan wants this ball in quickly and away. Little wheel, which way is the arm going? No way, we're going to have a reset.
Alex Callender did very well to get that ball away. I couldn't even see it. There's a twist and a turn and feet everywhere. She still managed to get the flick out.
Well, you know, the Wales are looking for, an old school Channel 1 ball, really. A quick strike on the ball, which is, barely happens these days anyway in rugby. But that's what Wales want. They don't want it in the scrum for any length of time. Australian fans, Welsh fans, Lions fans. Good crowd watching the Wallaroos. First of 2 tests. That looks a solid platform for Wales. Come on, get that ball out. Callender under pressure. Oh, ball shoots out, dragged back. So it will be an Australian put in at this scrum. What has happened at scrum time? When do Wales think about making changes? Because they're obviously under pressure. Do you bring kind of the Welsh rugby star of that front five, Cecilia Tupilotu, on for 30 minutes on the tight head?
Well, she'd certainly add a bit of power into it, wouldn't she? Help keeping it stable.
Thank you, George. On to the loose ball. Will Australia look to play from this scrum? Will they look to set another drive? Will they look for penalty try, yellow card for Wales? There's lots of options they can go for here. Well, scrum was excellent in the first half, creaking in the second. Vadra picks, looking for a second try. Brought to the deck a couple of meters out. Oh, Alex Callender onto the ball and wins a great penalty. What a turnover for the Welsh captain. Got a left hand onto it, made the effort to lift the ball. Perfect timing. Something she's an absolute expert at.
And what a moment to get that as well. That's why she's captain, that's why she's a leader. Look at the work rate. She was down on the deck at that scrum. She's straight up on her feet, buys her time. See how she was watching there? She doesn't go in too quick. She's watching, she's looking. As soon as she sees those eyes on the ball, that's when she pounces, that's when she goes in.
Choosing your options, choosing the right moment, that is part and parcel of turnover ball. You go for them all, you're wasting your energy. Pick your moments. Wales line up. Says 100% there. I'm sure they'd like to maintain that stat. This is a big one. Right on the 22. Beth Lewis up and down at the front. Callender to George. Long downfield. Hines opens it up into midfield. Beth Lewis. Good chase, good tackle. Again, high around the ball. Changes. On the field for the Wallaroos as well. You can see 21 and 18 on Karpani, and Wood are on. There's Samantha Wood. They're getting the ball wide to Miller. Wales keeping their shape defensively. Just gone considerably darker there when they're in the shade. Wood. Oh, they're putting pressure on Wales. Clock is ticking by, coming up to 53 minutes. Too much on that one. Time for Lleici George, and she should take her time. I'd wait for all my team to get back. Why not? Take as long as you can.
Yeah, absolutely, and be sure of this kick.
Well, I can see, we spoke of Cecilia Tupilotu, and there she is coming onto the field. Hamstring injury, I think she had surgery, didn't she, as well? So great to see her back. A real shining light, a real star of Welsh rugby.
Yeah, Wales missed her in the last Six Nations, although I did enjoy her on the DJ decks at the Principality Stadium. That was a pleasure.
Oh, she almost gets her hands immediately on the ball. Trying to flick it up for herself. But she just deliberately knocked it on just to have a scrum, of course. She's a tight head prop. Yeah, big moments for Cecilia Tupilotu. Needs game time before Rugby World Cup, and Wales need her back. Georgia Evans packing down a blindside. I think that's where she'd like to play, in the back row rather than the second row. We've seen her play for Wales. I think she's much happier there. And Calendar at 8 as well. Seen her all over the back row, but she's played well from that 8 position. Fredericks comes through a gap. And Wales have been defending for the last 10 or so minutes now. Not conceded anything. Crucial turnovers. You can't defend forever, or can you? Pomare. Tackled by Gwen Crabb. Conditions are still tricky. Calendar onto the ball. What a turnover. Again, read that perfectly. Can Beth Lewis get the ball away? Yes, she can. You can see how tricky conditions are. Georgia Evans. Well, Australia told to leave it. I'm sure there was a second nibble there. Keat. A dummy and go. Ball shoots out. Bevan reacts. Maisie Davis. Little pump fake and going again. Australia slow to move. And no counter ruck, so allowed to lie there. George. Long and low. But not finding any greenery. Phew! Has that gone back? Oh! Thought there was a chance to get boot to ball there. Might have taken a few fingers with it. If Alex Calendar would have put boot to ball there. But Wales again defensively keeping their shape, putting pressure, forcing the Wallaroos into errors. Really impressed with the Welsh defensive effort and discipline. Lewis out of the blocks, low, chop tackle. No options really for Samantha Wood. George, distance on that one. Down the tram line as well. Makes it difficult for Hulse. How does this ball bounce? Kira Bevan flicks it on to Lleici George. Thanks for that one. Slight hospital pass, but George does exceptionally well. Well, there's a hook of the leg there. In the clear out. It's getting physical. Australia know they're chasing this game a little bit. 21-12 down as Bevan box kicks this one away. Oh, Lisa Neumann. She had more time than she realised there, I think, Philippa.
Yeah, she did, and that was a great shout from Kira Bevan, because we've seen these kicks being fielded really well from Australia. Lleici George is pushing them miles back, and Australia are there, which means they're expecting it. They're deep. So if you want to continue the kicking game, using then that up and under, that box kick, is a really good option because Australia is so deep, it's going to be a real contest. And we saw that Lisa Neumann, she got there because they sort of met in the middle, but just didn't quite have that confidence, I felt, to get up, you know, get up and get under that ball. So it was the right kick, good execution, just need a little bit more confidence from the winger there. Look at those skills.
What would you have said to Kira Bevan after that flick to you in heavy traffic?
She kept the ball alive. That's obviously their MO.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
You've got to take it.
But Australia now making substitutions, emptying the bench. Brianna Brown is on at loose head, wearing 17. They made a change at hooker as well, did they? Yeah, completely new front row. Tinia Naden is on as well, wearing 16 for Amosa. "23 minutes left in this first test in Australia. And the rain in Brisbane. And a break for a storm, about a 25-minute break in the first half. You could hear the rumbles of thunder coming in. A few lightning strikes, and everyone headed for safety. Changes in the front row, Australia. Ball shoots out, Wood reacts. Oh, Pomare, that's gone backwards, and Fredericks reacts well. Gets some extra meters there as well. Her knees are on the deck. Tackle complete. Wood. Both second rows, Leaney and Cody, have been evident in Australian attack. Not so much in the second half, certainly in the first. And Pomare, experienced Pomare at centre, she's certainly be crucial to the Australian cause in this second half, as will Tuina Kovadre. And the replacement on. It's a Pippa Duck on, winning her 17th cap, usually at number 8. Oh, has that gone forward? Yes, it has. Well, Wales react as well. Good play by Allow Pearce. Just Joyce Butchers there, finds Nell Metcalf left-footed. Advantage is over. And back they will come. Hines, Hulse. Australia been slightly lucky. They're dropping a couple of balls, Philip, aren't they? But they're not quite going forward. Pomare tries to trip across. Neumann intercepts that one and kicks long. They asked the question, can Wales defend for long periods? Well, the answer at the moment is yes, because that's what they're doing, and doing it very well. Wood. There's the penalty advantage. And Kira Bevan taking a knock to her shoulder, it looks like, as well. Neck, shoulder, bit of a stinger. She's fine. At what point? You've got 3 debutants on the bench. We spoke of them earlier. You've got Baverstock, Vukai and Lockwood. At what point does Sean Lynn as head coach think, okay, let's put them on?
Yeah.
You know, because you want to win this test, you want to give them experience.
Exactly, and I think, you know, if you are thinking of World Cup is the priority, which obviously it is, then experience has to be the main thing. And well, there we go. We see Molly Reardon coming on, the 21-year-old, really young, you know, front row there on the bench. 21, 22, Catherine Baverstock, and obviously Cecilia Tuipulotu, sorry, at 21 as well. Sign of the future there. But yeah, it's got to be about experience and getting players some game time and trusting them that they can do a job, you know.
Good counter by Wales there. Bryony King is on as well, wearing 20. 2 changes for Wales. That's gone forward again. Conditions are tricky. If it looks dry, I can assure you it is most certainly not. Thank you, George, charged down by Annabelle Cody, but it'll be a Welsh scrum. Just Joyce Butcher's running in, but unfortunately you can't take a scrum quickly.
Yeah,
Yeah, massive impact off the
free
bench.
kick.
Both sides
Free kick.
unleashing the finishers. But for the Wallaroos, they just can't hold onto the ball. They can't build continuity as the rain continues to get heavier here on site. And the Welsh, they are building phases, building momentum, and looking strong with every touch.
Getting some input from the touchline there from our Australian counterparts. More changes. Ashley Fernandez, wearing 19, is on. The 22-year-old replaces Annabelle Cody. It'll be a Welsh scrum. We're into the last quarter, Philippa. 19 and a bit minutes left. This is not going to be a straight put in from Bevan. No chance of that. Pressure again on, but Calendar picks. Round the corner she goes. What a barnstorming run from the Welsh captain. Bevan wanted quick ball to turn Australia. Didn't quite get that kick far enough over Desiree Miller. And Bevan somehow got back there to take it. And she now looks to counter. And support of Molly Reardon on her shoulder. One of the Gwalia Lightning players. There's Tupilotu, first real carry. Back in the pocket, George. High, this one goes. Not looking for too much distance, and that's gone forward again. Good play from Wales and Thaiki George. Good chase from Jazz Joyce Butchers as well. And Wales at the moment really keeping the pressure on Australia.
Really good run, wasn't it, from Alex Calendar? Here we go, we get to see it again. Not only showing her athleticism, but her power as well. Look, getting those fens in. And players there in support, look, left and right flanking her. She's got the option. She looks, but she knows it's not on. She's safe with it, goes to debt, recycles. And it was a great kick in behind from Kira Bevan, then the right play, because you could see that the Australian defence was disorganised, just couldn't quite get enough on it. But then equally, I have to say, I think Australia's fielding game has been very good.
I guess the strike on the ball does Reardon. They're under pressure. Calendar, exceptional work at the base again. Ball back inside to Jazz Joyce Butchers. Bevan. Wales, they're generating quick ball. That's something they've really struggled to do. Anna Del Valle coming round the corner as there's Georgia Evans. A little bit isolated there is Maisie Davis. Wales maintain possession once more. Calendar, what a performance from the skipper. Tupilotu ships it on to Beth Lewis. Lewis hits the angle, she's got support. Keat into the 22. That's gone forward. It's a knock on. Has the advantage over. Oh, just falls in front of Nell Metcalf. She's left-footed. She looks for the touchline, but finds the Australian captain, Chancellor. Good chase and tackle by Metcalf, though. This game is opening right up. But there we have the problem. A penalty against Wales. I think encroaching into the 10 from the kick from Metcalf. Wallaroos will know they have a penalty advantage, so they can do that. Fredericks does kick. Not gone forward from Neumann, but back they will come.
9 within the 10 and advancing. So you can have the penalty here. You can have the scrum up where she kicked it, which is maybe 15 meters up that way. Penalty here or scrum up.
I think they should take the scrum.
You want a line out or the scrum, man?
100% they should take the scrum, and eventually the message does get there. So I think this is from where Nell Metcalf kicked the ball. I think she was that far in field, I've got to say. Nearer this tram line, the 5-metre line. But Wales have got to be squeaky, squeaky clean. A 2-score game at the moment. Big moments into the last 15 at Ballymore. in Brisbane. Wales leading the Wallaroos by 21 points to 12.
Just to put some perspective on this, not only would it be historic for the tour to Australia to get this win, but they've played each other 8 times. Wales have only won once. So to get this win on Australia's home ground in a World Cup preparation would just be fantastic.
Absolutely concur with you there. They beat them 31-24 in Newport, but they faced them then in WXV2 with South Africa a couple of weeks later and lost 37 points to 5. So this will be some turnaround. You've already seen huge strides made in the Welsh performance. This next score is crucial. Pomare with a carry through Bevan, just about brought to the deck. Callender wants to get her hands on the ball again, slows the ball down a little bit for Wales. Wales have got to work really hard to get people to the deck and get round the corner as well. Beth Lewis shooting out the line. Ball gets to Miller, again breaking through tackles. Joyce Butchers, almost got it into touch, but just released the ball, did Miller. Fernandez with a carry. Wood there quickly at the base. Lots of changes. I can see Laurie Kramer is on as well. And someone the Welsh women will know very well from her time playing at Exeter. Well, Wales have turned that over. But it's a penalty. There's the explanation from the referee, Maggie Coggero, pulling the player back on the floor. That's what caused the turnover. Once the player is on the deck, they're out of the game. And Australia pop this one into the corner. Caitlin Hulse puts it in the corner for the Wallaroos.
And the way that line-out drive worked towards the end of the first half, I dare say you might see that again.
Yeah, Caris Cox on for Hannah Dalla Valle, try scorer. I think I see the debutant on as well for Wales, because Kira Bevan has left. There's confirmation. Siren Lockwood is on for her debut. Great 67 minutes for Kira Bevan, the experienced Kira Bevan.
Absolutely class. Really, really good. So good for Wales to have her, and she really looks like she's peaking, doing so well. But equally, Sarah Lockwood, you know, she should be with the under-20s. You know, she played with the under-18s last year in the Six Nations campaign. And being only 19, she should be with the under-20s. Instead, she has catapulted herself into the senior team. Sean Lynn invited a couple of players of what he referred to as national interest into the Six Nations camp this year, just to watch them, see how they train. And he did say, if you're good enough, you can push these players and you can get yourself on that plane to Australia. And true to his word, 2 of those youngsters managed to push through.
Yeah, Tilly Vukai is on for her debut as well in Australia. Brilliant moments. Can they create some memories that will last forever? Well, we'll find out in 12 and a bit minutes. Australia putting pressure. The Wallaroos 5 meters out from the Welsh line. Ball was lifted. That's why Beth Lewis shot out to the line there. Thought she was going to be penalised for a second. Pomare asking for her forwards to work really hard round the corner. Wood now at 9. And there's a penalty advantage again for Australia. Tackle off the ball. Gwen Crabb penalised. There's not been any real chats about discipline at all. But you're in that kind of zone now where the clock is ticking, where they are on the field. You could be looking at yellow card. If you're going to concede something, you don't want to lose a player as well, Philippa.
Yeah, absolutely. Multiple infringements, isn't it? If you're defending your try line, will often lead to a warning, and the next one will often lead to a card. But like you say, nothing being said yet. Five-metre line out for the Wallaroos. Possession
It's gone forward. They've knocked it forward. Didn't quite see it. I just heard the referee say advantage and the arm in Wales' favour. What do you want to do here? Does Sarah Lockwood want to clear this one herself? Is that advantage over? Yes, it is, because it's a great clearance from Thaiki George.
And under pressure as well. You know, she couldn't stand too deep in that dead ball area, so she only had about 3 or 4 meters, so there was loads of chase, loads of pressure on her. Great exit.
Super exit. I could hear on one of the mics say, that's a great kick, someone said. And a great kick it was. We're almost into the last 10 minutes. Still a 9-point game. Oh, Beth Lewis up there, pinched that one. Don't think it's a knock-on advantage. More changes. Pomare leaves. Smith is on, wearing 22. And the Wallaroos emptying their bench in an attempt to get back into this class. George, what's she seen? Well, Lisa Neumann, straight through the breadbasket for Lisa Neumann. She's not had the best of games under the high ball, but that was a little chance for Wales.
And that could be a real asset for her. She's a tall player, she's very athletic, very professional, very diligent. If she can just nail those high balls, that could be a real weapon for Wales. She's fast enough, she's strong enough. No doubt her vertical jump will be one of the best in the back line. Just needs to have that confidence under the ball.
Well, we see Maisie Davis there. And those tight kind of dreads, aren't they? And then we've got another debutant on, because Catherine Baverstock is on in the front row. 3 debutants for Wales in Australia. I said before the game that Sean Lynn has delved into the pathway. And we're seeing that pathway work for Wales women, because they're all on the field. Australian scrum. I look to do one thing, get over the gain line. No knock on at the base. As Leaney carries. Wood there at the base quickly again. Brown with the carry. Almost up to the Welsh 22. That's gone forward. Keith does exceptionally well. Good hands and feet there as well to escape. Cecilia Tupilotto needs to get in there. Well, that's a penalty. Surely that's affecting the 9. I'm getting a little bit excited now, Philippa. Wales have never played in Australia, played Australia in Australia before. Things could happen for the very first time here. Well, we'll know that in 8 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. There are so many factors of this that are huge, like you say, in Australia, beating Australia, but also ending that 5-game losing streak. Remember, they came off the Six Nations, lost every game. So just to get that, you know, off their back, again, going into a World Cup is just so important.
Yeah, Wales haven't won since they beat Italy in Parma away from home since 2023. This would be huge. Scrum will be under a little bit of pressure, but great shape on both sides. Lockwood, time to get the ball away. George, long. That's a great kick. Turning house. She looks up. She will counter, will she? No. Elects to kick. Australia have got to work hard to get back. George, has she got time to look up and kick again? Long and low, and that's gone forward. This will be a Welsh scrum. Well, Georgina Frederick said, it hit me in the face. The referee thought she lost it from her hands. No damage to the nose or jaw, but it will be a Welsh scrum on the Australian 22. That could be crucial. 2 great kicks from Thaiki George.
Yeah, absolutely. That low driving kick makes it so hard to bubble. Yeah, look, it's difficult. It may have hit her in the face, but she certainly had her hands up as well.
That's a knock-on.
But yeah, great low driving kick, really hard to feel, gets you territory, gets you position, but as a back 3 player sort of receiving that low drive, it's really hard to predict the bounce on it.
Australia been playing in May. in their competition. In the Pacific 4 series, then they played 2 weeks ago in Wellington at Sky Stadium. Lost to New Zealand 37 points to 12, but very close at half-time. And Wales are on the cusp of beating Australia in their own backyard in Brisbane. 6 minutes left in this clash. First test of 2. Yeah, supporting Cecilia Tupilotu. At the far side of this scrum. Oh, that's comes straight out of the tunnel.
Same tunnel. Same tunnel.
Not a bad thing, because guess what? The clock still ticks along.
Yeah, exactly.
Seconds turn into minutes. It's just, it's just combinations again. You know, Sarah Lockwood coming on for her debut. You've got Molly Reardon in the middle of that front row now. It's just about timing, you know. But this is a crucial scrum. They've got to get this right, of Wales. 5 minutes left in this first test. Wales ahead by 9, 21 points to 12. Oh. What's the referee seen there? Well, she's penalised Baverstock there, straight to ground, but all the weight went from her. There's no other place for her to go. I'd like to see it again. It's Caitlin Hulse. Why would you take a scrum down there? There's no way in the world that you would try and do that.
No, exactly right.
The penalty did go in favour of the Wallaroos. It's their line out. Clean ball this time for Fernandez. And they simply have to play. Fredericks elects to kick. No one wants to claim that one. And luckily for Wales, it has gone forward. And we'll have another scrum. 4 minutes left in this clash. Scrum should eat another minute out of play. But Wales crucially need parity, need to win this scrum. Here's Captain Calendar. Terrific performance. We're not picking the player of the match, but she certainly would be up there, wouldn't she, Philippa?
Oh, she absolutely has. Yeah, Alex Callender, I think Kate Williams, I think Courtney Keaton, the centres, had a really solid game.
Yep.
Claky George kicking.
Yep.
Kira Bevan, movement.
Beth Lewis has been excellent as well.
Yeah.
I thought, you know, she's really abrasive in attack and defence. And that's a Welsh free kick. Again, the ball never leaves the hands. I'm not going to complain this time because it's Welsh ball. Calendar, Lockwood, Reardon. Composure now needed. They can play this clock down into the last 3 minutes here. Still Welsh ball. Lockwood, George, Tuipilotu in midfield. Has that gone forward? Well, potentially could have been stripped by Australia. Let's see it. Hand up, says okay. I did lose it in contact. But it's another scrum. 2.5 minutes are left. Time is not up. The referee said don't step back, take the hit. But from what I saw, Baverstock went forward. You know, so it's Australia not taking the pressure there. And the clock is ticking. 2 minutes left in this clash. If Australia are gonna win this one, they need something to happen, and they need it to happen quickly. Kaylee Powell is on, Jazz Joyce Butcher's off, and again they elect to kick it. That's been touched, and that ball is still live. Down quickly, back on her feet. It's Welsh ball in their own 22. I think Jazz Joyce Butchers is still on. I looked at there, thought it was her going back, and a little bit of mistake in the graphics, and it is. George back in the pocket again, all inside, can look for the safety of the touchline, doesn't quite find it. Australia keep it alive. No point kicking this one away, really. That'll skid on, hopefully. And it does. Neumann leaves it. Shaiki George, look for the safety of the touchline this time, please. And that she does. There will be a minute left in this clash in Brisbane. The substitution now happens. Kaylee Powell is coming on. But Philippa Tuttiett alongside me. It looks, touch wood, any kind of wood, that Wales are going to win in Australia for the first time, playing in Australia for the first time. What does this mean for Wales looking forward to Rugby World Cup?
Well, I think the whole of Wales, across all boards, will be looking at this and have a little smile on their face, because Welsh rugby hasn't been in the best place. But to see the women peaking, going into what essentially is a home World Cup, with the World Cup in England in August, this is monumental. But not only that, to see players playing well. Wales have played well. If they'd have played like this and lost by 3 points, I would be as positive. But the fact that they are managing to hold on this win, they're bringing debutants off the bench, they've got new combinations, and they're still closing out this game is brilliant.
Completely agree. Clock is ticking, seconds go by, the clock will turn red. The traditional Australian hooter will sound. Well, if our clock is correct, of course. I hope it is. Calendar gets the ball to Lisa Neumann, tries to get on the outside of Tuina Kavadra. Nasty little clear out there as well, not for the first time. There is the hooter. Wales now know, well, they won't need to put it dead. Knock on, the hooter is gone. Will they come back and have this scrum? Looks like it, they will play the scrum. And this will be last play, which means Wales are going to win for the very first time in Australia, and getting the victory on the first attempt. Only the second time Wales have beaten Australia. Huge moment, like Philippa Tuttiett alongside me said, for Welsh rugby, because we all know how tough the last couple of years have been. Winning in Australia, huge for Wales women, huge for Welsh rugby. Hopefully this is the last play, the last scrum. Channel 1 ball, hoof it anywhere off the pitch at Ballymore, and let the celebrations for this 1 week begin. Well, we're not going to get it yet because it's a penalty. For me, it's the tight end not taking the weight there. You know, you've got Karpani just coming away from the contact.
But you know what, as any clever front row, if they're doing something and it's getting their advantage and they're not being penalised for it, then keep doing it. So it's savvy play from Australia.
Yeah, now they go to the corner. Somewhere near the corner. Don't quite understand that decision either, because you might as well just tap and go. Keep the ball alive if that's where if you want to play. Well, they take the risk of losing the ball in these very, very tricky conditions. And they've not had the best of times at the line out. And there we go. The final whistle goes at Ballymore in Brisbane. It's a victory for Wales, and they can celebrate. They deserve it, Philippa, don't they?
Oh, they absolutely do. That is huge improvements. Sean Lynn, you must be feeling very proud of your team. You've talked so much about how hard they've worked, and they have now put that work to good use. Great performance.
Super performance. Full time at Ballymore. Australia 12, Wales 21. On they march to next week and to Sydney.